Hey everyone, Jack here. I would love to take some time to answer some of the questions with regard to Chinese metaphysics. So I'm going to do a very fast and furious roll of doing that. Let's see how it goes. So here's a question. How does the concept of yin and yang influence daily life and decision making? Well, yin and yang are the rhythms of life. Yin is the rest and reflection. Yang, on the other hand, is drive and execution. So if you push yang when the moment calls for yin, guess what? You burn out. And if you stay too in when yang is needed, then you miss opportunity, isn't it? So daily decisions become smoother when you know which energy to tap into and when to switch. Does that make sense? Okay, here's the question. What is the significance of the five elements, Wu Xin, Wu Shen, Wu Xin, in understanding personal destiny and health? Now, the five elements, which is the wood, the fire, the earth, the metal, and water, they are the codes of how energy shows up in your body, personality, and destiny. And each governs organs, traits, and tendencies. So, for example, wood brings vision, but liver strain. Metals give discipline, but lung sensitivity. So when you know your element balance, you hold the menu to manage your health and shape your path. Okay, next question. How can one apply the principles of Feng Shui to improve well-being and prosperity? Okay, so let's see. Feng Shui is actually environmental design that aligns your space with your natural flow of energy, right? So a properly placed desk, activating wealth center, or even a redirecting qi can actually lift clarity, morale, and results. So it doesn't magically create wealth, of course, but it removes resistance. What's the word? That's right, resistance. So as to make success smoother and more sustainable. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay, here's come with the I-ching. Wow. What role do the I-ching, which is the book of changes, and its hexagrams play in what's this word? Let me see. Divination, okay? Divination, and self-cultivation. Wow, let's see. I-ching is actually a wisdom system that reflects the nature of change. So its hexagrams don't give yes or no answers, but highlight timing, obstacles, and flow in self-cultivation. And it trains you to think in cycles and patterns, developing foresight, patience, and humility. So, which are all critical for leadership and personal growth. That makes sense, okay? So, how does Ba-zi, which is the four pillars of destiny analysis, reveal an individual's character and life path? You see, Ba-zi is your energetic blueprint. The Day Master reflects your core personality. The 10 gods shows how you think, you lead, and relate, while the luck pillars reveal timing for growth and retreat. So it doesn't trap you in fate. Okay, we call it destiny for some reason. It gives you a map to maximize your strengths, avoid pitfalls, and design your own path, which we call it design your destiny. Okay, so let's see. What are the ethical considerations and responsibilities associated with practical Chinese metaphysics? Wow, this is an interesting question. Reading charts means influencing lives, so ethics is key. So the role of a practitioner is to empower, not to enslave or frighten. Never tell your clients they are doomed. Okay, no. Instead, show them options, timing, and strategies. True mastery is leaving someone stronger, empowering, and more confident than where they came from. Okay, hope that makes sense. Alright, so let's see this question. How do different schools of Chinese metaphysics, for example, Confucians, Taoism, interpret universe and human existence? Well, to the best of my knowledge, Taoism sees the universe as flow, teaching adaptability and harmony with nature. Confucianism stresses order, morality, and responsibility. So together they balance flexibility with structure, where Taoism once again prevents rigidity, Confucianism prevents chaos. Both lenses actually shape metaphysics and guide how we live in balance with heaven, earth, and humanity. Hope that makes sense. Alright, so this one, question number 8. Can modern science and Chinese metaphysics find common ground, or are they fundamentally incompatible? Well, let me use a double negative here. They are actually not incompatible. So in other words, they're complementary, right? Science explains mechanism, which is the how, while metaphysics explains the patterns and timing, which is the why now. Okay? So this is called the circadian rhythms, the yin and the yang or yang. Physics studies resonance, which is the chi flow. So the best approach, in my opinion, is to integrate. Use the science for validation and metaphysics for strategy. I do know some people do not believe metaphysics. They believe it is the woo thing, but after a while, I hope that you are open your mind, accept Chinese metaphysics as it is. Alright? So this question, okay, how has Chinese metaphysics adapted and evolved in contemporary society? Well, depends on how you see that. Okay? What was once imperial strategy is now modern coaching and planning. I do this for consult and coaching most of the time. Body profiles, which is now my beloved favorite tool, they can be used for leadership archetypes. Feng Shui is about using it in office design, home, etc. Qi is about strategic execution and timing. So the principles to me remain unchanged. It's only the language and application that have been updated to suit the modern world. Okay, so this is the last question for this video. I hope you enjoyed this type of Q&A. If you'd like, comment below. I do my best to regularly do some Q&A on this. So you can submit your question at the bottom so I see whether I can answer, right? If I can answer, of course I will. Okay, the final question. What are the practical steps one can take to begin studying and applying Chinese metaphysics in their life? It's like in school in life. Start from basic 101. Yin and Yang, 5 elements, are pretty much core foundation in my opinion. Observe how they play out in your models. Also in your models, your moods, your health and choices. So first thing first, pull your budget chart. If you don't know how to do it, well, comment below. I'm able to help you. And study your day master, which is the day pillar, of course based on the birthday and birth time. Actually it's birthday, not so much, okay? And make one decision to change your qi, your flow of energy. Perhaps ask yourself, what can you do with the current situation? In my opinion, lots of people actually love to learn, study. It's a repeat cycle to me. And I will say this, there's no need to chase the entire knowledge domain because you will never be able to do it. So I will ask you, do what I have done since the beginning of this year. Apply one thing. But after learning something, you apply this first. When you apply, you get experience, and that is your learning. Then you will do again, learn something else, and then apply to the real world. Help people read the charts. Help you read your charts. Again, a different perspective. And see whether the experience that you have accumulated over time, the results you help yourself and your clients will give you impetus or motivation to continue pursuing this journey. Alright, so if you do really like this kind of Q&A and you want me to do more, I'm happy to do this. Just comment below and say more, okay? And if you do have any specific questions about Chinese metaphysics, also comment below and I do my best to answer these questions as and when I'm available. Okay, till then, with next speech, Jack One signing off. Of course, all good wishes. Cheers.